thank you, and thank you guys for having this. This is really awesome for high school football. I appreciate all you guys covering us. And the more things we can do like this for these kids, I think it's a really big deal. So I appreciate it. I'm Chandler Tygard. I'm the head football coach. To my right is KJ Huckabee. He's a linebacker and tailback for us. To my left is Nigel Lanier. I wanted to bring both these guys because they're awesome for us. We don't elect captains until the playoffs, but both of these two are very deserving. Both of them have 3.5 GPAs. Nigel's only been with us since June. He moved down and he's led us through the whole summer. Hasn't missed a day of summer practice, so he definitely deserves it. So I'm real excited to bring these two great kids. Looking out for the season, we've got 17 starters coming back. With 6 new players coming out from football. We've got 29 upperclassmen, so we're feeling much better about our depth of kids who have played football. Compared to last year, this time we only had 3 players that played in the varsity game. So the fact that we're going to roll out there with 20-something of them is going to be a big deal for us. We've got a bunch of new coaches. Last year I had to call offense and defense, so we've hired the defensive coordinator, Jamal Best. He was the DB coach at Delta State years ago. We got a bunch of college experience. We've hired Joe Briggs Jr. to coach running backs, the former Tennessee player and NFL player. So he's been doing a great job. The big thing for us, the theme this year is everything's earned. So they're earning T-shirts throughout the summer. They're earning to be a captain. They're earning the right to use their locker. We had to remove that a couple weeks ago because their lockers were too dirty. So they're having to earn everything. The good teams are player-led, and average team is led by coaches. So we're really trying to transfer ownership to the players. They came up with their own team rules this year. They came up with their own core values and what's important to them in our school. And they're the ones that are holding the rest of the team accountable. And when you can do that, I think you can have a really good year. So the fact we've done that in this short time, especially considering Corona, and really most of that has been done this summer. So we've had an unbelievable summer. We work out a little differently. We go in the heat of the day. We go 1 to 4 every day in the heat. It's hard. It's grueling. It's been the hardest summer these kids have ever been a part of. I've ever been a part of. And so the fact that they've come through that and they're ready to go is really exciting for this year.
What position do you see Nigel playing?
Nigel plays receiver and corner, and KJ plays running back and middle linebacker.
Questions?
Coach, I know last year you were in a lot of close games.
Thanks for bringing that up.
and had a chance to win those games at the end. What have you got to do this year to get over that hump and be able to hang on and win those football games at the end?
A couple things. That's a good question. So yeah, we lost 3 games on the last play of the game last year. I've never been a part of that in one season. We lost one game by 5, and we were ahead by 15 with 5 minutes to go. We scored a lot of points and just couldn't stop anybody as much last year. So this year, it's all about finishing. So in our summer workouts, we have what we call competition Fridays. Each workout group is based on a 5-man team. They draft their teams. And it's kind of like Shark Tank. You get kicked off your team. And so on Fridays, we have different games. We play basketball, volleyball, and basketball, and flag football, and all these different things on Fridays. And the same issues come up, So when a lot of those games were lost because of discipline. In my opinion, we had the least discipline of any team in the history of Alabama last year, and that's all on our coach's fault. So that's been the big key this summer, is discipline's our #1 core value that the kids came up with. So we put them in these different game situations on Fridays and then see where that stuff's going to show up, and then we remind them, hey, how did that feel at Plainview last year, when they went for 2 and lost by 1. And they remember that, trust me now, they remember it. So we've been harping on that all summer. We're very, very hungry to get to the next season, so we're thankful it sounds like we're going to play.
For the players, Coach mentioned that he let you guys set the team rules and kind of take ownership of the team. What went into that process for you guys and your teammates and that thinking, and how did that kind of go for you guys?
I mean, we really like leadership, so that was like one of the big things we wanted to emphasize this year. And discipline. I mean, if y'all watched this, y'all probably saw it was bad. So we want to take care of those things this year and hope for a good season.
I think the most important part about your family, because we you're on a team together. You should like treat your brothers like you treat your family. I think that's the number one core value.
Well, Coach, due to all this COVID stuff, you missed spring practice. But do you feel like the kids are a lot more focused right now and listening? Because, this game could be yanked out from under them at any time. Do you feel like they have that sense of urgency to want to get better and be somebody? Because the community needs this, they need this. And you talked about discipline and leadership that probably cost you ball games last year. But I know that's a big focus for this year, and that leads to wins. Leadership makes wins.
Right. I mean, so I tell the kids all the time, bad teams, nobody leads, average teams, coaches lead, good teams, players lead. With the spring practice, for us, it's not really been as big a deal as maybe for others because all of our kids play baseball and all of our kids run track. My offensive line coach is our head track coach, so they don't really have a choice. They run track. I don't want to cheer against our successful baseball team to get spring practice. So that's not an issue, really. Once June 1st hits every year, that's when our season kind of starts. And then that's been the big focus this year is trying to get everything in this summer. Our summer workouts are just so different to where, we try to work as much of every aspect. We don't just lift in June and run in July. We do a little bit every day. We have a different focus each day. And we even do competitions to try to get the competitive juices flowing and see if all those discipline and leadership issues arise. We played pickup basketball yesterday, and then the coaches dominated the players. We choose captains and the whole thing. And if a captain is complaining because his team's not very good, like we had one kid decide, I'm going to quit. I'm not good at basketball. Well, that's what they get, hammered for. I don't care if you're not even good at basketball, just don't quit. And, we're trying to do the same values that come up in a football game all summer. So summer's a huge deal for us. If that would ever go away because of Corona, that would be a big problem for us. But without spring, it hasn't been as big an issue as I guess some people would think.
Kind of going up summer.
Region's a little bit stronger this year with the changes. What will you need to do, a couple things of improvement-wise as a team to get you back to where the goal is playing in week 11?
Right. So the region is different. That is the first question. Madison Academy and Madison County coming down from 5A both. Madison County was a 10-win team in 5A and they come down. Madison Academy is where I came from, so I know a lot about them. They're historically a great team. And then Westminster has won so much, they actually got bumped up to our region. So we've got a very difficult region. We've got a very difficult schedule. People thought I was crazy making that schedule off a 2-8 year. We're playing 2 6As in Scottsboro and Fort Payne. We're playing a rivalry game across the state line in Tennessee. And we're playing a jamboree against the 5A runner-ups to try to prepare our kids. So all that is done on purpose. We want to have a difficult regular season to get in the playoffs. It doesn't really matter. We'd like to win the region, obviously, and be the 1 seed, but our goal is to take it one game at a time. We can't focus on the results. We're not worried about anybody right now other than actually our jamboree. That's what we've been harping on. And hopefully improving all these issues we've talked about from last year and improving them this summer, then you're going to see the results later on. But we try not to focus on that part. We just know it's going to be a hard year and there's going to be a lot of challenges with the schedule that we have. And with the players we have and the numbers. And so it's going to be difficult, but it's exciting. And we would rather have a hard schedule. And I think that's going to push us further in the playoffs.
We've talked a lot about the off season as the team collectively and summer workouts and all of that, but for you, this is your second year with North Jackson. What has this off season been like for you as the head coach, trying to adapt and trying to get into year 2 with all of this going on?
For me personally, the best part is we're not having to build lockers and paint locker rooms. We put in 120 gallons of paint. We built 50 or 60 branded lockers. We were building lockers week 4 last year. Week 1 we had kids setting their stuff on the ground. So that's a giant distraction during the season. So we haven't had to do any major facility improvements this year. We've just been able to work. We've got more coaches now. So I'm not having to call offense and defense personally. So we have a defensive coordinator that's unbelievable. So I can let him go. So that's been a huge help. So now all we have to do is focus on actual work and football and lifting. Our defensive coordinator also has a master's degree in exercise physiology, so he runs all the strength and conditioning conditioning stuff. I mean, so it's been so much easier on me as a coach. Now, for them, it's been so much more difficult because I've had free time to come up with some of these workouts. We call it the Stevenson Death March, where we actually run from the front of the school a mile and a half down the road to the interstate. We run up the big giant hill on the interstate and then run back with all the tractor trailers honking at us and stuff. And so we come up with crazy workouts, but if you want to build pride, which is one of our core values, our principles, big things, pride with our school, the only way to build pride is a little shared suffering. So they know that they've gone through a ridiculously hard summer and they're prepared. We're in better shape than we were last year, we're more disciplined than we were last year, and that's got to help us. So we're really excited to get going.
Coach, you talked about your staff and you hired Gerald Riggs Jr. Of course, I know who you at one time when I went to school at Chandler. I went to school at Red Bank,
Okay.
and I'm a Tennessee fan, so I know who he is. These kids that may want to play at the next level, is having him on staff a big thing because he knows what to expect and what they have to do.
It's a huge deal. We didn't hire him because he played in the NFL or anything. We actually coached together at Notre Dame and Chattanooga, so we go way back. Both of these kids want to play college football, and so it is a big help, to where they can talk to somebody who's played at SEC level, played in the NFL, but at the same time, every single one of our coaches has either played or coached some level of college football. My offensive line coach Tygard at Auburn for 7 years. I coached at Tennessee for 7 years. My receivers coach played baseball and football at Alabama State. My defensive coordinator played at Rhode Island. So every single one of our coaches can talk about college football. And it is a big goal, especially in our area, because we want to get school paid for. The good part about these two is they can get academic scholarships even if football doesn't work out for them. KJ had 25 ACT that I'm so proud of. So, that's a big deal with us is we want to see as many of our kids that want to go to college, we want to make sure that's a priority. Football can be that pathway for our kids in our town, but if not, we want to make sure that we're on top of their grades and they can go anyways. There's a lot of different levels of college and a lot of different places they can go. Having Gerald is a big deal because they can talk to him, but I'm also so fired up that every single one of our coaches has been a part of that too. So we're just really fortunate to get these guys, and so I think you can tell I'm really excited about them and to have the help. And, they love all these kids, and the kids love them. It's just a completely different atmosphere this year than it was last year. It was new because our style of coaching is completely different than my predecessor, so that kind of took some, getting used to a little bit. But now we're just so excited to have them and the kids. I mean, it's just nothing's brand new. We're running the same kind of schemes. They know exactly what's expected of them, and so now we can just get better, and everybody returns. So that's why we're excited.
For the players, it's a great honor to be here. Coach singled you two out to represent your football team. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. It means that he's like I'm a leader to the team. I feel like this summer he's really been a lot to me. He has open arms. I came in to further practice. All the kids, they all came out to me, reached out to me very early. We've all hanged out, and I feel like this is going to be a great season this year.
It's a great opportunity. I feel like he looks at us as leaders. So we're just trying to lead for the team. And, yeah.